Hello everybody, my name is Minkaro and welcome back to Slammed. Now we were talking about our hometown, Manchester, and it is a bustling city. Not always safe, but never boring. Your perspective may have been different if you've been on the losing side of one of the not infrequent crimes and misdemeanours, but as it is, all you really remember is that the city had everything you could ever want. Until you started wanting to wrestle. You'll never forget your home, but it's time to leave the nest. Now, whether or not you can fly, that's the question. 3 weeks later, the Araneta Town Hall. Good to meet you. I'm Minkaro. Have you seen Sam McEnroe? One by one, the wrestlers shrug or shake their heads as you make your way around the locker room, exchanging handshakes with rookies and veterans both. The lone exception is a beefy Greek wrestler getting some sort of design tattooed on his face. I think I saw him with the sound guys. You nod your thanks, then hurry out of the locker room once you've made the rounds. You're set to debut tonight as the second match on the card, and you just realise that you don't have any entrance music yet. You've just left the locker room and you feel a tap on your shoulder. You turn around to see Larry Lance, your opponent tonight. He's been in the BWF for 3 years, but you've got the feeling he won't be around much longer. You met him earlier in the day when you were going over a match in Vinny's office, and he just seemed disinterested. Listen, says Lance, I know Vinny has you going over tonight, and that's great and all, but I was wondering if we could actually have a match instead of a squash. You're taken aback. Why didn't you say anything earlier? Vinny is down on me lately. Damned if I know why. Lance puts his hands together. Listen, I've got some old high school friends in the audience. I don't want them to see me just roll over. Before you say anything else, Lance continues, I promise we'll be a minute or two over time, that's all, and if the ref gives a signal to end it, we'll end it. I know how it sounds and I'll owe you big time. It's just that there's this girl I haven't seen in ages and you tuned him out. You could let Lance get a few of his moves of his own in, but that may just weaken your debut. It's not like Lance has been booked as a strong opponent, and maybe more importantly, what will Vinny think? As the promoter and booker of Borderless Wrestling, he's your boss, your only boss, and he may not take too kindly to improvisation, even if it could result in a more exciting match. On the other hand, wrestlers who show consideration for their peers, make their opponents look good, are generally more popular in the locker room. Those who focus on turning matches into highlight reels are deemed to be all about ring flash and deficient in the awareness that makes a great wrestler. That being said, fans do love to see flashy wrestlers. Tell him truthfully, sure, it's no problem. Tell him sure, but decide to go ahead with a squash anyway, refuse. You don't become falling for that, do you? Okay, let's just eliminate the middle one straight away. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. If we tell our opponent we're going to do one thing and then do another thing, we could hit our finishing move on him and he could kick out. He could kick out of it, turn it into a shoot, completely devalue it. It could turn it into a proper fight. It's just the worst possible option. I think the choice we have here is obviously whether we want a better relationship with our boss or with our colleagues. Now, if we don't have a great relationship with our boss, that probably means we're not going to win the world title anytime soon. We may not get fired. We may get fired. I don't think we will because they've spent money and time on doing these vignettes and bringing us in, so probably not going to want to get rid of us straight away. But it could make life a bit difficult for us. Then again, we are in the ring with our opponents, our colleagues, fellow wrestlers, so we want to keep them on side so they don't drop us on our heads. So I think what I'm going to do is go for the locker room over the boss. So we're going to tell him truthfully, it's no problem. Lance's face brightens up. You won't regret it. I'll make you look like $1 million when you do win. You'd better, you say. The two of you quickly come up with a new plan for the match. Then you excuse yourself to go and find Sam. You finally find Sam, surrounded as usual by computers and recording equipment, talking to a pair of choreographies, a pair of technicians about the choreography of the lights on one of the entrances. Sam, hey, if it isn't a man of the hour. Shouldn't you be in your gear by now? You would be if you hadn't spent the last half hour looking for him. Sam, about myself. Oh, have you been checking the BWF forums? He's not even looking at you. The little vignettes we've been running have drummed up a lot of interest in you, my friend. He turns to you with a smile. People are saying you look strong enough to give Charles Large a run for his money. Sam nods to himself, exuding self-satisfaction. I heard a few guys talking about how they can't wait to see you get your ass pummeled. You grin. Well then, I guess we're going to have a few disappointed customers after tonight's. You break off and shake your head. Wait, it's not even important right now. I need to choose an entrance song. You need to help me pick an entrance song. Will you please listen to me? Now, top option seems. Is there any others? Relax, Minkaro. Sam gives you a thumbs up. I've got you covered. He presses a button, and immediately your senses are assaulted by the unmistakable opening melody of Want, 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 a song by some new twin sensation. You cross your arms. This had better be another joke. Sam laughs. You should see your face. Sam cracks his knuckles, then tabs through a few windows on his nearest computer monitor. Don't worry, I've been thinking about that. I didn't want to make a final decision without consulting you. He opens an audio file. A blistering guitar solo rises to a crescendo in the first 5 seconds, then is abruptly cut off, before the song kicks in again with a man singing about how the world is too small for his ambitions. This one is called Broken Shell by the Witchers. If you want something a bit more classic in nature, you hear trumpets and a steady cascading beat without lyrics. It's rough around the edges, but it gets across a feeling of triumph. It reminds you of the type of theme music they had during the Ejective era, the term fans used to refer to the GWA in the 80s, when cartoonist characters were the rule. This one is Steel Patriot, done by a student from my alma mater. Have I said that right? Big wrestling fan, but if you want something contemporary, Sam clicks the third file. Hey, you say, I know this one. Boy Rising, right? Sam grins. I am such a fan of Ecstasy. Yeah, I saw the standee in your room. Have I ever told you that you're kind of creepy? Shut up. This song still gets a lot of airplay. Starts slow, but everyone knows it, and it has a great rap chorus once you get in the ring. No one else is using this? Sam shrugs. No one in the BWF or GWA, and that's good enough for me. So which one do you want to go with? Now, a bit of background. I do e-fedding, or I did e-fedding, which is, for those who don't know, you basically write a wrestling match against your opponents. It's probably easy for you if you go and Google that. Not now, don't go and do it now, do it later. And what I use as a theme music in that is Dream Evil's The Book of Heavy Metal, because how it would fit my character best. So Dream Evil, a metal band, and that does actually open up after the singer just belts out the word metal in a stupidly high pitched. I'm not going to sing it, obviously. If you want to hear it, go and listen to it. It's on YouTube. But it's a metal song, and it does have a guitar solo at the start, so it sounds quite close to Broken Shell. Sam nods, then turns back to his computers. You're the boss. Let me just slot that in here, and there you are. You turn to see Vinny Guider stomping towards you, chomping on his trademark unlit cigar. The promoter of a boardless wrestling federation is a small, balding man who positively vibrates with restless energy. Usually it's a positive energy, but the expression on his face tells you that's not the case at the moment. Hey, Vinny, Sam says without turning around. We're going to a Broken Shell for Minkaro's entry. What for clotheslines sake are you still doing here? Uh-oh. Vinny only starts using wrestling terms as cuss substitutes when something's really gone wrong. You take a step back as Vinny jabs a stoke in your direction. What are you... You start to ask, but he cuts you off. You're on in 5 minutes! But you look from Vinny to Sam and back to Vinny. I'm taking on a card. Is this another joke? Why didn't anyone tell me that before? Okay, if we go for the top option, it kind of explains why we're late. That's what Vinny told you. You can't just change your card. Or so you thought. If you'd been in the dressing room, if you'd been in a dressing room where he expected you to be, says Vinny, someone would have told you that Otto was a no-show. By the time I'm through with him, you won't be able to get his name on a library card. Your eyes go wide. But that means Vinny stops his ranting to fix you with a laser-like glare. Why are you still standing around? You jump and then sprint back to the locker room, only belatedly realising you didn't tell Vinny about your conversation with Lance. Well, no time for that now. Okay, seems like a good point to stop, and I'm going to stop. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Hope you enjoyed the video as well. I'm going now. I fucked the end of this video, haven't I? Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Goodbye.